Welcome back to another episode of Watch Me Mix. We are continuing with A Place for Us by Carlos Gonzalez, and it's time to clean up the band a little bit. I wanted to bring some top end out of the band and continue mixing these vocals in. What I noticed is during the part that I'm playing quietly in the background right now, there's no band, and we have those O's. And in the last episode, we took this section of O's and really brought them out. So then when we get to this sort of breakdown section where it's just the O's, it's kind of way too loud with the O's. So take a listen to that. So yeah, this is obviously way too loud with those O's for that section. So what I'm going to do, I think, is just bring them down during this part, and then they'll go back to the normal part right here. So let's take a look at that. It'll be all of these, and we're just going to bring them down kind of a lot. Let's take a listen to that. Yeah, so that works really well. It gives this nice big build up and this big drop right in this section. The other thing we can do is the band has that cymbal swell there, and that can probably come up if I can find that. So let me look for that. So I found it. It's right here. So all I'm going to do is just turn this up a little bit here. Let's take a listen. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to do is see if I can brighten up the entire band just a little bit. I felt like the vocal was really bright and the band wasn't super bright at all. So I'm going to try a couple different strategies, and I'll come back to you and see what I landed on. All right, so what I landed on is super simple. Here is the band track. This band track, if you don't remember, has all the electric guitars on it, the Hammond. It's basically everything except drums, bass, and vocal are in this band sort of track stack right here. And what I've done previously is I put this F6 on it, which is sidechained through the vocal. If you watched the previous episodes, you saw me do this and talk about it. Basically, this just ducks the band track for the vocal frequencies, allows the vocal to cut through better. So now right after that, I just put an EQ, and I just boosted a little bit right around 5,000 right here, 5K. And I'll show you the difference. So here's the band track soloed without the EQ. And with it, without, and with it. So pretty subtle. Listen to it with the drums and the bass. So this is without the EQ. And with it. So I'm just turning up these sections of the vocal to be sort of visually similar, and we're gonna hear how that sounds. Yeah, this is getting better. I'm going to turn up the word apart here. I'll take the world apart without a change of heart. Okay, so I like the level of the vocal. Yep, this is sounding good. And so I think I've succeeded here in turning the band up in the sense that I've brought the high end up really just with this little EQ. We leveled out the vocal a little bit. I'm liking the effects on the vocal after, I continue to listen to them. And I think we're in a good spot here to do some work on the master fader. So that's kind of exciting. I've just been mixing into this really, really soft limiter. I don't think it's even really been limiting. I've just been using it as a output ceiling, really, just turn the output up. So it's time to take this limiter off. And what we'll do is we'll throw a few things on the master fader here and we'll see how that sounds. So I'm going to do that and I'll show you what I come up with when I come back. Actually, before I do a little bit of my own work on this master fader, I wanted to point out what you can do if you're new to doing things on the master fader to sort of finalize a mix. You can just click on mastering right here. And what that will do is it will open up Logic's sort of mastering assistant. And it's going to scan the whole track and it will present to you a demo master, a master it thinks is good. And I found it to be pretty good. If I was going to grade it, it's usually like a high B. It's very good. It's super passable, and it's a really, really good way to just throw something on that is going to be strong and easy to listen to as you take it out into the world and continue to listen to it and think about how you want to change it. Sometimes it's difficult because you want to continue to listen to it outside of the studio and it feels quiet and weak, and you really want to hear that strength to sort of have it be compared with everything else you're listening to. So this is really helpful to throw this on. You can see the EQ curve it came up with. The EQ curve you can sort of elaborate on, or you can say no EQ. And then you've got a loudness dynamic over here. Excite will bring out some high end. You can also reanalyze it here whenever you want. So if you do some more mixing, you just tap reanalyze and it reanalyzes. But the real sweet part of this is loudness compensation. So let me show you how that works. If I turn the plugin off and play it, in fact, just to make this easy, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some gain reduction on this fader just to turn the whole fader down a little bit. So hang on. Okay, so what I've done is I've just thrown a gain plugin right before the mastering plugin here, and I've turned it down 8 dB just so that we're mixing properly, we're leading into the master fader without having any sort of peaking, and it gives us plenty of headroom. So when I play and turn on and off the master plugin here, you'll see that it sounds louder when I have it turned on. Take a listen to that. Here it is off. So it sounds louder when I turn it on, which always sounds better, but it's also changing the character. So wouldn't it be great if there's a way to just hear what it's doing to the character and not to the loudness? Well, that's what loudness compensation is. So I turn this on, and now it will not make it sound louder, but you'll be able to hear the difference in character. So here it is without. And with. And I can boost the EQ to really hear the difference. And when you turn loudness compensation back off, you'll get the loudness that you want. If you want it to be even louder, you can turn this up, and it'll just keep getting louder. So this is a good way to just do a quick master. In the next episode, I'm going to walk you through what I would like to do on something like this. It's only going to be a few minutes. It's pretty quick and down and dirty, but it's a great way to do this and have a little bit more control. So stick around for that one. Almost done with this one.